Introducing the all-new Western Enforcer V-Plow. Engineered with all the features, efficiency, and performance of full-size Western V-Plows, built specifically for your half-ton truck. For more information, visit westernplows.com.
Mike Bott from Frost Solutions, one of the owners of the company. What we do is provide a mini weather station to give you a tailored forecast to those particular locations so you know where and when and what to do in those parts of town. You know there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways that people can experience tremendous value having a technology like this.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey with your host, Dave Westcott. The Entrepreneurial Journey is a weekly podcast that streams live every Tuesday at 9:15 a.m. Pacific on Dave's YouTube channel and LinkedIn profile. Now here's Dave with this week's episode.
Good morning and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm your host, Dave Westcott, and I've got with me today special guest and co-host Todd Chapman. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning. How we doing?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, because we're going to eat a lot of Thanksgiving food in like 2 days.
Oh yeah, it's a great time of year. Not a good time of year to start the diet, though. You know, that's
what if you're on the diet?
Well, if you're on the diet, then you're in that flow, you know. But if it's like, you know, occasionally like, man, I need to start losing a few pounds. It's probably not the best time to going into this week.
It's not the best time to get into a diet. It is not the best time to get into a diet. So, well, listen, we got a couple of things we got to cover here. One, the entrepreneurial journey. This is, you know, all about helping people build $1 million businesses or better, or help the guy who's got a $10 million business get to 20. But I think one of the number one lessons I've learned along the way on my entrepreneurial journey, if I was to share any tip that really helps the entrepreneur, helps the business owner, even helps the executive, the average worker, the homemaker, whatever, wherever you are in life, I think the number one tip that I've learned in my life is to be thankful. Be thankful in all situations.
Yeah.
The question is, if you lost a spouse, if you lost a business, if you lost a kid, if you lost a parent, could you be thankful? Could you say, thank you, God, for allowing this to happen in my life?
Yeah, I mean, it's a deep question, and I think you only know when you go through those experiences, right? And prepare. I think that's the root of the heart. You know, even this morning, and I was, you know, reading, and it's you know, you go through, you read, you know, devotions, and it's be thankful in all circumstances, right? You know,
yep.
and I think that's, you know, one journey and along the way that can you have that heart, you know, in the toughest of situations, you know, and
yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, you know, there's going to be ups and downs, you know, in business. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days, everything in between. But I think one of those, and one of the lessons, and we talk about this too, is just that morning routine. And I think part of that morning routine is so key. And that's one thing, just working alongside you, I've learned too, is that thankfulness through the tougher times, you know, through the suffering, you know. And as an athlete, you know, you know, working out and lifting is a big part of that. And how does the muscle grow? It's you break it down. You're literally tearing the muscle as you lift weights. Why? So it can come back stronger, you know. And I think that's the journey of entrepreneurship, of business ownership, is you work through that, and how the tough times can actually make you a better owner, a better person, you know, going through those moments.
Yeah.
And having a thankful attitude.
I think you got to be, I think, you know, what happens for me personally is like when something bad happens, I'll tell you a story. I was hanging Christmas lights at my house maybe 15 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. And it was, you know, after work one evening, and, you know, it was just a long day, and I was thinking, okay, you know, I'm going to put the Christmas lights up. I'm going to do something nice. And I go out and I put up the Christmas tree lights, and I'm hanging them on the gutters, and my garage is open, and I got some music playing in the garage. The mood is set. I'm having a great time. And I'm really having a good time with this. And there's a car that comes in and parks in the cul-de-sac, and it's looking over, and some guy gets out of the car and he walks up and he hands me a lawsuit and he says, "You've been served." And immediately my brain went into stress mode. You know what I mean? And what I've learned is that if I'm not thankful, all I do is I stew on the problem. I just sit there and focus on the problem. Like, have you ever hyper-focused on something so deep, like you can't stop thinking about everything else? You want to solve it. You want to call people. You want to talk about it. You just want to rush into it. But what happens is when you're thankful, God, I'm thankful for this lawsuit that I got served with today. God, I'm thankful for this situation. God, these people who are suing me today, I want you to bless them. I want you to bless their life. I want you to bless their comings and goings. You know what happens is that instantaneously, the stress, the anxiety, it all just releases from your body. It's like you mentioned lifting weights. When you're just
that final rep,
and you get it up there, and then you set the barbells down, or you set the bench down, and your body just relaxes. And you know what? That's the amazing thing about being thankful. Ronald Henderson says Romans 8:28 was mentioned in our devotion this morning. I love Romans 8:28. Thank you, Ronald. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us this morning. I'm a big believer in Romans 8:28 as well. And thank you for the participation in the show. We love having you here. What we look for and what we do is, like, the world today is so anti-thankful. So what I thought would be kind of cool for this show, because it's a Thanksgiving schedule, and this is going to kind of put us out of our comfort zones a little. But, I'm going to let it shine, this little light of mine. So,
it's a musical, by the way.
Yeah, we do music on here. How can you not? Did you not grow up? Listen, I was on a podcast last week. It's called Teach Me Bees. Here's a plug for Teach Me Bees. I absolutely love Teach Me Bees. And I'm on a podcast with my other co-host, and his name is Scott the Beekeeper. And we're like talking about our favorite movies. Okay? So he's like, my favorite movie is The Lion King. And I'm like, The Lion King? Are you kidding me right now? You're like 26 years old. If you're watching this, no offense, I love you. But no, but seriously, I'm like, okay. I'm like, The Lion King. So his favorite movie is The Lion King,
I mean, it's a good animated film. Don't get me wrong,
You do know how I feel about cartoons.
I know. It's not my favorite,
you do know that my dad at 10 years old said you are not watching any more cartoons.
You know that.
He said, do not watch cartoons. Yeah. He said, men do not watch cartoons. Yeah. Boys watch cartoons. You are no longer allowed to do that. Which skewed me. So I'm thankful for Scott's enjoyment of cartoons. And I love that about him. And it's just the way we were raised differently. So my mind is different than his. So anyways, favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Favorite Thanksgiving movie? Wow, I'm so in Christmas, so it's I'm just trying to think what the Thanksgiving movies are out there. I can't even think of any right now off the top of my head.
Gladiator.
So
hello.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually like going Thanksgiving theme. I mean, favorite movie during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Favorite movie to watch on Thanksgiving? Gladiator. Russell Crowe.
That's a good one.
Saves fighting for the family. He's got the little statue. He pets him and kisses him at night.
A movie that always it's always there, and it's like I'm a huge Mark Wahlberg fan. I think it always grabs me. Is Italian Job. If you've ever seen that movie, it's just one that we always catch ourselves. Then we go into Christmas mode, right? I mean, Elf, is always up there. So it's like Thanksgiving kind of kicks off the Christmas straight into the holiday season.
I like the Italian Job too. To be perfectly honest, I like movies that are PG-13.
Okay, yeah.
But the Italian Job fits. I actually like Mark Wahlberg too.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for him.
Good acting.
He is a good actor. Have you ever seen that movie Fear that he did?
A long time ago. I think I've seen it once. Maybe. That was when I was young. But
I don't know that that's a Thanksgiving movie.
No,
but
I don't think so. Yeah.
That's kind of my first
now that
kickoff.
Daughters, I don't think I'd want to watch that one either. So.
Daughters, yes. Yeah. I love my daughters. I'm thankful for my daughters. Anyways, I thought it'd be cool. Let's dive into let's share 10 things we're thankful for during this season.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay.
I mean, this is totally impromptu here today. So, it makes the show a little wild and crazy. But I'll kick it off. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm thankful for my salvation. I'm thankful that Jesus died on the cross for my sins. I'm thankful that I can be saved. It's number one.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to, even this morning I was reading, and in the word, and it was talking about being thankful in all things. Paul's talking to the Thessalonians, and just to be gracious in all things. I mean, I think I was reading that there's 50 times he mentions thankfulness in his epistles. And there was a note in the devotion saying that versus any other author at that time, which is, I don't know who does these statistics, but there's someone who analyzes this, and it's more he mentions thankfulness more than any other author during that period per page than anybody else in his letters.
Wow.
So you think about how important that was, and how
so
God
Paul
moved
is very thankful.
So he's very thankful, but he talks about the calling. Thankful for the calling. So I'm thankful for that. Starting with salvation, the calling on your life. As a believer, I think that's a big one to be thankful for, right? Salvation. I'm thankful for family. Part of that. I think for me, it's just I was thinking about that. My wife.
Is that number two
kids.
for you, or
that's
is that
number two?
Is that up there with number one?
Yeah, that's up there. It's right there. But I think you're thankful for. There's a reason.
Are you thankful for your in-laws?
If they're on LinkedIn, yes, I'm very thankful for my in-laws.
What about if they're on YouTube?
If they're on YouTube, no. If they're on MySpace, I think there's moments that there's love, and then it's like my kids. I love my kids, but then do I like them all the time? Depending on the moment, maybe not. It's a fine line. So there's that line with the in-laws. So.
My children are not into their teens yet, so I haven't experienced this dislike thing yet. So I'm, we'll see if I get there.
I'm thankful for them. I am.
I'm thankful. I want to say that I'm thankful for my in-laws, and being around in-laws is not always easy, just because different personalities and different things happen. Yeah. But I'm thankful for them, and I'm thankful for them because without them, there'd be no Amy, there'd be no spouse, there'd be no connection. So I'm thankful for them because I'm thankful for Amy. But number two for me on my list is our sponsors. I'm just thankful for our sponsors. I'm thankful for Western Snowplows. We love Western Snowplows. I love having Western Snowplows on our trucks. I'm even kind of feeling like Ricky Bobby at the moment, where he says, I am required by stipulation 3.21 to mention Powerade in each prayer. And so Powerade is extremely thirst quenching, and blue raspberry punches off the hook, or whatever he says. You know what I mean? I totally butchered that, but that's my Ricky Bobby for today.
As long as you start praying in dear baby Jesus,
Yeah, we're not going that far. Okay, we're not going that far. We're not gonna go there. But I'm thankful. Yeah. I'm just thankful for our sponsors. I'm thankful for Western. We love the Western equipment on our trucks and equipment, and I'm super thankful that if we have an issue in the snow, they're very responsive and they take care of us. And I'm thankful for Frost. I'm thankful for Frost cameras. Had a great conversation with a HOA client last night about installing Frost cameras. And they were just loving it. And here's something cool that we learned about Frost cameras was that they have some technology where, you can set AI notifications to say, hey, if you get this weather, send me a ping, send me an alert, send me a notification. Well, we actually were talking to this HOA last night and able to use this with hey, is somebody illegally dumping in the dumpster? Can it ping them? And we were like, well, I don't see why it cannot. So we were utilizing that. So there's a little plug for our sponsors, but also just the thankfulness for our sponsors. And then to kind of catch up to you, number three is I'm thankful for my family. I am very thankful for my family. And in fact, I'm writing a book. And I've been working on writing a book for 10 years, but I'm finally putting it together. And really? I wrote the first chapter a couple of weeks ago. And the first chapter starts about my dad. And so it was kind of cool going back to my dad and asking him to tell stories about his life and listening and learning and then taking notes. because, when your parents tell you stories, it's kind of like you listen and you hear the same stories over and over again. But this was like a deeper understanding of my dad. So I'm really thankful for family. What about you? What do you got there for number 3?
I'm just thinking of the number 3 is just our TransBlue, our Condo Shield. I mean, just our team and Evergreen brands. I'm thankful for them. I mean, even I was talking to Ralph, our producer, behind the man behind the camera here and the screen, and just
the man behind the mask.
Yeah, the man behind the mask,
like Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right. Keeping with the movie theme, we got to attach everything to a movie. That's the goal.
Is he a Leonardo DiCaprio lookalike?
For sure. Yeah, I think that's what he gets mixed
just
up
a couple
into.
pounds heavier.
Now, Ralph, we don't think about those things. We don't talk about weight on this show.
Yeah.
Because I like to roll in at over 300 elbows, if you will.
211 this morning.
211 this morning. You're a lightweight.
No.
You're a lightweight.
My playing weight was about 185. So I mean, if that tells you anything, but I think just there's a lot of work that goes behind. I think that in every role that we don't always get to see. When people are in their workstations or they're at home or early mornings, late nights. I think of even our snow team. We have a team over in Manila that works really hard too, and throughout the night. And so this as we're coming into the snow season. I'm thankful for the hardworking folks that just are on our team. That keep the engine moving. That is seen, and that's not seen. Every single day, especially our snow team right now as we're coming into the season. There's long hours. Have grit's one of our core values, and I think it's just they're the epitome of that grit and perseverance. So there's a lot of work that goes behind.
I'm also thankful for the TransBlue team. I'm thankful for the hours that they put in. I'm thankful for the 40-hour snowstorms they work through. I'm thankful for the many weekends that people put in, the time they sacrifice to build this company. And I'm thankful for I'm really thankful for the things that the sacrifices that the team makes to make this company great. And I measure greatness in how much we've been able to impact and change the world. And without this amazing team in front of us, we couldn't give to the noble causes and the charities that we do give. So I'm really thankful for everybody who works here. And so tomorrow, we're going to have a little Friendsgiving and, at the office for our, the team members who are local and can make it. But just really the goal is to honor our team. So I'm thankful for them. What about you? What do you got next?
Well, you mentioned the causes we support. I'm thankful for the causes we support, through the nonprofit Enbridge and, just all the people on the front lines, and we, even in our morning prayer, this morning, just thinking about those guys that are out there, like a Slavic over in Ukraine running, kids camps, thousands of kids attending their camps, to medical clinics in Uganda, right? And Heed, and even here locally with Dawson Place, and, being there luncheon a couple weeks ago in a child advocacy center, and just all the work. I mean, and there's so many other causes out there, but because of the hard work here with the team, able to give back. And I think, I'm thankful for you in a sense of that, we're not getting there, but it's thankful for the heart behind that, and how many companies, no offense to those, there's great companies out there that provide great services, great products, but I think it's, that heart, like what is the why? I mean, Simon Sinek, hashtag Simon Sinek, but it's about what is your why, right? What is that greater purpose of doing business? And I'm thankful for your heart of generosity, thankful for the giving behind that, because we can all provide a service, but really what makes a difference, and our mission is change the world. Like, what does that mean? And seeing those stories, hearing those stories of how we're truly impacting people's lives in probably greater ways than we can even imagine. Because I think like Slavic and these kids camps, like how many generations could potentially be changed? You talk about salvation, and that, what's that look like? Generations from now, from one little act of kindness or one moment of giving. And so we don't quite always know, maybe we'll never know how great that impact is, but truly just changing the world through those causes, I think is amazing. Because there are tough times in business, but it's, I think, to know that, hey, that this is our hard work, and everyone on the team is giving that purpose and cause and pushing it forward. So thankful for that.
Ralph, are you keeping track of what number we're on?
I think that was 4 for me, so I think 5.
We're 4-ish. Okay. Listen, I was just joking because I was keeping track.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm thankful for, and I got to tell you something that I really am thankful for, that I love more than anything. And I love Thanksgiving leftovers. Now, I'm going to tell you something about a DW sandwich. This is a DW sandwich. This is a sandwich that I make. So what I like to do
Got to take notes
is
on this.
the morning after Thanksgiving, okay? I like white bread. White bread that you can squeeze into a ball and make a pitcher's mound out of it, you know?
I'm with you.
Like, I like white bread. So what I like to do is I like to take a piece of white bread and I like to lather it with butter, thick butter. And then what I like to do is I like to get me a nice thick scoop, about 1.5 inches thick, of mashed potatoes. And I like to slurry that on top of that piece of bread. And then what I like to do is douse it with salt and pepper and then just put a layer of gravy. And then what I want to do is then I want to get the green bean casserole. I love some green bean casserole. And then I want to put about 1.5 inch layer of green bean casserole on top, put some salt and pepper, and then I want to layer that with some more gravy. And then what I want to do is I want to take some stuffing, about 1.5 inches of stuffing, and I want to put that on top of my sandwich. And then what I want to do is I want to put salt and pepper on that, and I want to layer that with another layer of gravy. And then I want to take some turkey, about 1 inch of white turkey, breast meat, and I want to put that on top, salt and pepper, and then I want to put another layer of gravy on top of that. And then I want to take another piece of bread, put a ton of butter on top of it, slap that bad boy on top, and then I want to take that bad boy, I want to put it into the oven or the microwave, preferably the oven. I want to put that on broil for about 90 seconds. I want that bad boy to come up with it already heated up the oven. The oven can't be heating up in the process. And I'm going to tell you what, you are going to have the greatest Thanksgiving sandwich you have ever had in your entire life. That's what I look forward to. I love it every single year. It's one of my favorite things in the world to have. That is number 5 for me, is what I call the Thanksgiving sandwich. So if you're out there and you want to experience a little bit leftovers of DW, if you want to know how to get to 300 fast, eat Thanksgiving sandwiches, because we're going to jack this thing to the moon.
If I was calculating the height on that, I think we're like at 8 or 9 inches. I don't know, like give or take. I don't know, but that's an
beast. Intimidating number for you?
I mean, no, I'm just thinking, like, is it open faced? Like,
there's a piece of bread on top.
I know there is, but I'm just trying to think, like, imagine that. That's a beast of a sandwich. I love it.
It's beautiful, and you smush it down.
Oh yeah,
you got to get some smushing.
Yeah,
and then you eat it with a fork and a knife.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't eat this with your hands. You're not like.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely that kind of open faced style is what I was imagining, because that's a heck of a sandwich. I love leftovers too. I'm a sweet tooth, so I think I'm more along the lines like, give me that, that pumpkin pie, that apple pie, peach pie, whatever pie you're into. I'm not discriminating against any pies, but with a nice a la mode, I'm all about those desserts, leftovers too. But I think catching up to you now a little bit too, but I'm thinking of just family and parents, because I think I'm thankful for my parents. You mentioned your dad, and I was thinking of, for me, growing up, my dad's dad wasn't very present, was very absentee in his life. And as the oldest son, my dad, one thing that always mattered to him, and as I got older, asking him, hey, what was the drivers for you? What was the motivators for you? And for him, it was just all about family. Like he said, hey, I just made the determination, like whatever I could do, I was going to be present in your life, and I was going to be involved. And so he worked graveyards for probably 25 years of his 40-year working career. He just retired. Congratulations, Dad. But it was so he could take us to school, pick us up, so he'd sleep a few hours and then come get us, and then he would coach us in most nights, most evenings. And he did that for, even after we all graduated high school, he still was involved with our high school, coached, many more kids. And in fact, he started a youth program, a feeder program, basketball program for 6th to 8th graders. It started with one team with my older brother, and to this day they're still running that program. So just the legacy. And even some of my friends who may not have had father figures in their life, we kind of grew up around a tougher part of town, and so I just think of that that sacrifice that he showed us, and kind of changed that legacy, for us. So very thankful for my dad and my mom. I mean, obviously my mom was a big part of that too, in supporting us, just working hard to give us a better life and leveling up that next generation, and I'd like to think me and my siblings are successful because of that, sacrifice. So great lesson to be learned for our generations, So
that's awesome.
Thankful for that.
And it looks like our good friend Ronald Henderson has included into our chat Corey Tenboom. I love Corey Tenboom. Was grateful for fleas while they entered into the concentration camp. Why? Because the women had a Bible study and the fleas kept the guards away and they had privacy. You know what? The thing is, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and just being thankful for the littlest things or the littlest things that you don't understand why can sometimes be a game changer. I think you had another one from Facebook, didn't you, Ralph? You had another comment from Facebook. That came up, but you'll get to that. While we're doing that, we're just at the middle of being thankful. So, just a quick note from Western Snowplows. Purchase a Western pile driver with Trace Edge technology pusher box and coupler package through November 30th and save $1,742, combined with the special Western financing promotion with no down payment, no interest, and no payments for 6 months. This allows you to use your new pusher all winter long before making your first payment. I absolutely love Western, and this is one of the ways that they give back is by really helping contractors purchase equipment that helps them take care of their parking lots with no payment down, with no interest, really taking care of their customers. And what does that say about no interest? I mean, that's huge with interest rates at 10, 15%. Yeah. They're saying no interest for 6 months. What a great company to work with, and really appreciate the discount, especially during these tough times. But let's see. So I guess as we get up to number 6, I'm thankful for the battles, the failures, the losses, the tough times, the lawsuits, the quit employees, the mistakes, the misses, just all of the things that just go wrong. I'm thankful for those things because those things make us stronger and they make us better and they give us thick skin. And the entrepreneurial journey wouldn't be the entrepreneurial journey without the tough stuff. But the truth about it is, if life was perfect, if everything went my way, if everything went the way that I wanted it to, guess what? I'd have nothing to be thankful for, because thankfulness comes in the light of the trial. When the trial is won, and I'm not talking about like the legal trial, but just like the trial of life. When the victory is had through hard work, then you have, amazing ceremony and amazing success. And the truth of the matter was, if there was no tough times, I wouldn't need God, because I wouldn't have to rely on anything but just the amazing life that I was living. So I love the trials, because the trials remind me to dive in closer to God. When things aren't going right, I remember, I'm not praying enough. Oh, I'm not praying enough. Oh, I'm not praying enough. So I'm really thankful for the battles that we see.
That's good. Well, not to lighten the mood at all, but I mean, just, for me, I was thinking, like, what things I'm thankful for? Well, my Denver Nuggets, speaking of suffering for many, many years, they were not very good. Went through some tough times as a team and as a fan. They won their first NBA championship this year.
That's awesome,
which was amazing experience. The cool part of that is I actually took my son with me, and we were able to experience the NBA Finals in one of the games. So just thankful for that time. With
that's
him
amazing.
And that experience.
That's a bucket list item.
And it is. And never been to an NBA Finals, and obviously when your team's in it, you got to go. And so just that memory. But thankful for the Denver Nuggets.
What I'm thankful for the Denver Nuggets hat that you got me. I love that. And look at Andy is saying good morning. Andy, good morning. What's up, brother? So glad that you joined in from the show. And guess what? I'm thankful for you, brother. You're going to be my number 7 today. I am thankful for Andy, one of our top-notch vendors out there providing snow services. I don't know how many sites their company takes care of for us, 50, 60, 70 sites. But I'm thankful for amazing partners and amazing vendors who do an amazing job and help us grow our business and are just great people to work with. And so just love Andy and love working with Andy. Very thankful for him. I want to go back to sports, because I'm thankful for sports too. So that's, I guess, going to be my number 8. So now I'm like 2 ahead of you. But just because everything is a competition, how many potato dishes can you get on your table, Ralph?
How many inches of gravy in casserole?
That's right. Yeah. And but my Boston Bruins are my favorite hockey team in the whole world. And in 2011, I was having a really tough time, just going through this moment. And I'll never forget the moment. I was out in my shop, and I was working late, and I didn't think the Bees were going to do it. Didn't think that they were going to win. They were playing the Vancouver Canucks, and our team was working late, and my mechanic had the Bruins game on in the shop, and he was working on trucks and fixing equipment, and we were going out, and we were glued to the TV at the end of the game. I can't remember if it went into overtime or not, but we're sitting there and we're watching the games, and the Bruins win the first Stanley Cup since I've been alive. And just the joy, the happiness, like I couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
The joy that it brought to me for my team that I loved, that I watched, to win the Stanley Cup was just an amazing, overwhelming feeling of happiness. And so I'm thankful for what sports bring to the table, and I thank you for sharing that, because that was an awesome moment. And sometimes in the deepest, darkest moments, sometimes watching a sporting event or seeing what they go through to achieve victory and win can sometimes help pull you through tough times and tough moments too, because it gives you a little bit of hope. And sometimes all we need is a little bit of hope. So I love that. And you are welcome for the 70 sites, Brother Andy. And thank you for being on the show again. So what do you got next? What's cracking in your world?
I think it just, just those who've always built you up, I think we all have different, mentors, it could be colleagues, it could be peers. I mean, one thing that you always push is, join an association, as an entrepreneur, and get involved with certain networks, whatever industry you're in, whatever craft or skill, join those associations, get involved and meet. There's just amazing people that you'll meet. So just, those conferences, those sessions, those educational training seminars, webinars, whatever it is, can really help push you through, but also just mentors in life. I mean, I think of the people that poured into me, and just in different phases. I'm just thankful for those people. I mean, one was a man named Lloyd that passed away years ago, but it just the pouring into his life and just showing you, just being. It's not just through words and those things, but how to the actions, right? How to live, whether it's family, whether it's work. Just approaching that. So I'm just thankful for those people who come alongside you, on the journey, that God introduces into your life. Could be for a moment, could be for long journeys, long seasons, many years, right? That we have, different people in our life that come alongside, whether that's peers, colleagues, mentors, or people in those associations. So just thankful for that.
How thankful was Lloyd Jr. for the Rangers winning the World Series?
So, I mean, and this family is amazing. So they have a Christmas tree up all year round. So one of the first things that caught my eye, it was actually Thanksgiving. Thinking of Thanksgiving is when I met them. So when I walk in, come in the first day, and you go to their house, and I didn't meet their son. I met the parents, and Lloyd and his wife, Kathy. Walk in, and Lloyd, what I didn't know is an amazing God story. He was actually born dead for several minutes. They prayed over his little body after the doctors called it in the room, and he came back to life. But he was a quadriplegic with cerebral palsy. I didn't know that. So when I come to their house, and this is when I know they just have fun with it. So thankful for joyous friends, right? Thankful for people who have a good time. I walk into the door, I'm knocking, no one's answering. I'm going, okay. So they have to buzz you into the gate and the gated community stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, they know I'm here. They got me in. Knocking, and then there's kind of a stained glass door, and I look over, and they just put their son in the foyer in his wheelchair, and he's just laughing, at me, and I'm going, and I was like, what is happening right now? I've never met this family, and so I come in and have a great time. Well, Lloyd, the fourth, I think, the son is a huge Rangers fan. In fact, when they moved away from Dallas, they had him on the broadcast, and because he's just like their biggest fan. So for those, again, sports, the Rangers won the championship like a few weeks ago, and the pure joy that the video I got sent, I think I even shared it with you, was just, uninhibited,
it was awesome.
Just amazing joy, so just thankful for mentors, thankful for joyous friends and people that just know how to really enjoy having a good time. So
all right, what's your number 8? Since I jumped two ahead.
Are you ahead of me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just putting just the tough times battles, and I think that's one thing that you always talk about in life and in business is really embracing that, and just the scripture, in James 1, right? So I consider it pure joy, my brothers, when faced with trials of many kinds. I think of that, man, because when you're going through it, a lot of times your first reaction isn't always like, yay, this is awesome, but it's, I think it's the perseverance, the toughness that it can create. Whether that's going through medical, Katie and I had she had a little bit of a tough time with some medical things with her, and I think going through that, and as we're continuing to go through that journey, I mean, we all have things, in personal life and in work and in business life, how it makes you stronger and what you learn from those. So yeah, I think that, the tough times and the different battles, we all have it. Every day, so just going through that.
The proverb that comes to mind when you share that is the proverb that says, "A poor specimen cannot stand the pressure of adversity." Wow. A poor specimen cannot stand the pressure of adversity. That means you better be prayed up. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I skipped number 7 by accident, and so my number 7 is actually, I need to get that in here, so you are actually one ahead of me. Yes. I'm going to go my wife in the cooking, just the sacrifice, the amazingness that she brings to the table, the time she's going to spend cooking and laboring over that meal. I'm thankful for that.
That's good. Did I mean again?
Number 9, you know what? Okay, I'll go number 9. Number 9, I'm thankful for the SIMA Board of Directors. I love SIMA, the Snow and Ice Management Association. I love the amazing people that I work with on that board, and I love that we are helping, snow and ice professionals become everything they can be and build the best businesses possible. And SIMA has been a game changer in my life, from all of the relationships and all of the associations and the trade shows, everything I've learned and has brought to my life. I'm just super thankful for the SIMA board.
That's good. I think I might have skipped one, but I'm just thankful for, I know family, but I'm thankful for the lessons that my kids have taught me. As a dad, I think it gives you kind of another lesson of life. Obviously thankful for my wife and all the hard work that she puts in, similar to what you just mentioned. But I think the kids they teach you, to enjoy the simple things sometimes, and just the simplicity. My daughters, I love my son because he's into sports and he enjoys that. But daughters, are interesting because my daughters love to write me notes. And so I'll get home and there's probably almost every day, I'd say almost like 90% of the days, they'll have a note for me, and it's just like, "I love you, Dad." And some of them are stick figures, and you probably be like, "This isn't going to make it the art museum." But just thankful for those notes, those little simple things in life that I think can really brighten your day.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
that's awesome. When my kids were littler, before I'd leave for work, they used to give me a rock. I mean, they would not let me leave the door. That sometimes they'd spend 20 minutes picking out the smallest little rock. You know what I mean? And I used to have the inside of my truck, the door of my truck used to just be filled with rocks that they gave me. So I also love those special moments. Number 10, I'm thankful for life, man. I'm just thankful to be alive. I'm thankful for all of it that it brings. The good, the bad, the joys. I mean, just some of the amazing moments that you have in life where you think this is a perfect moment. Whether it's the first date where you put your arm around your girlfriend, or the first kiss that you have with, your wife, or, whether it's, an amazing meal that just drives your taste buds crazy, or whether it's a good book that stirs up so much emotion inside of you that you can't believe it, or if it's a movie that touches your heart and just is like, "Man, I love this," like The Gladiator. And
it's very sentimental.
It is very sentimental, man. He gives his life at the end. He sacrifices his life and he does the right thing. And I think that's a big thing in life, is he gives up his life for all the people, and that's a beautiful moment. So, yes, I will cry at the end of The Gladiator, and I might even cry in the middle. So, that's my thing, but I'm just thankful for life.
That's a good one. I love that. It's not my last one, but sacrifice, and I just think of that, how we resonate with sacrifice, obviously with our relationship with God and the sacrifice there. But it's just a sacrifice of those. I think there's nothing greater, right, than those who we're sacrificing time or energy or service, to those, even our vendors and others out there. For me, it was interesting because as I was walking down the steps this morning, is just the beauty of creation. I know it sounds kind of vague, but I looked out and just the sunrise lately, last couple of days, at least at my house, looking out east there was just amazing hues and colors, and it's just sometimes just pausing, kind of those simple moments and realizing just the beauty of nature, the beauty of creation, just to realize, man, this is, it's great to be alive. It's, be thankful for those little things that sometimes it's easy to pass up in today's world of being so distracted, but there's so many things to pull us, whether it's the phone, whether it's entertainment, and there's not always negative things, but it's just sometimes pausing enough to see the beauty of what's around you. So that's what I'm summing it up with.
That's pretty awesome, man. That is pretty great. That is pretty great stuff. You know what? Being thankful is so important in life, and I just love thankfulness. I love being thankful. And for me, that's what Thanksgiving is all about, just giving thanks and giving appreciation for our lives and for everything that we run into. So listen, I hope that you have an amazing Thanksgiving, no matter where you're at, whether it's good or bad. Take that moment and give thanks and think about what you can do to make somebody else's life better. What does that look like? Is that a smile? Is that a kind word? It doesn't have to be money or time, but just what can you do to make one person's life better? It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holiday season and everything going on. And so just take that moment to be thankful. This is the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm Dave Westcott, your host. This is Todd Chapman. And what we are saying here today is be thankful, be happy. Happy Thanksgiving. If you liked this, give us a like, give us a share, follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere where it's social. I think I might even be on TikTok now. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, I'm everywhere that there is social. So give us a like, give us a share, and thank you for your time today. We are here every Tuesday, 9:15 p.m. a.m. What am I talking about? Too bad we can't edit that. 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's it. Todd, you have any words to close us out?
No, just happy Thanksgiving and thankful for you all.
Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll second that. Happy y'all, and happy Andy. Thanks for throwing it into the chat as we begin to end here. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Introducing the all-new Western Enforcer V-Plow. Engineered with all the features, efficiency, and performance of full-size Western V-Plows, built specifically for your half-ton truck. For more information, visit westernplows.com.
Mike Bott from Frost Solutions, one of the owners of the company. What we do is provide a mini weather station to give you a tailored forecast to those particular locations so you know where and when and what to do in those parts of town. There's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways that people can experience tremendous value having a technology like this.